My husband, M33, told me, F28, that he's in love with my sister, F32. I'm pregnant, and I don't know why this is happening to me. My sister and I had a shitty life growing up with a passive mother and abusive stepfather. My sister was my protector and role model since none of the adults were. She tried to shift my stepdad's abuse onto herself when he got drunk so he wouldn't hurt me. When she left for college, she let me stay in her bed while she slept on the floor in her student room the days I managed to run away from home. When I turned 16, she let me move in with her permanently. We never saw our parents again. My husband is very similar to my sister. They're both very calm and kind, both very intelligent. They have the same sense of humor, love the same music, books, movies, and games. It's like a weird perverted thing that I found the male version of my sister to fall in love with. They get along very well, and that was so important to me because they're my only family. We got married a year ago after 6 years together, and I'm 27 weeks pregnant now with our first baby. My sister met her boyfriend, M30, a year ago. He got along very well with me and my husband, although I always felt that my husband never really liked the guy. When I asked him once why he didn't like him, he got flustered and told me that he didn't know it was noticeable and expressed regret. He told me he just didn't think he was good enough for her. Her boyfriend proposed to my sister last night. We were just having pizzas, and they were having beers on my sister's balcony when the boyfriend suddenly went down on his knees and took out a ring. She was very surprised but happy all the same and said yes. When we went back home, my husband was a little tipsy. He told me he wasn't tired and that he's going to take one more beer and watch TV and that I should go to bed. I went back to the living area, and he was sitting there crying. I asked him what's going on, and he told me that he was in love with my sister. Has been for years, but that he knew how wrong this was. He told me that he loved me very much and vowed to be a good husband and father to our daughter. He slept on the couch. He's still sleeping now. I'm stunned and full of panic. I don't know what to do or how to feel about this. My sister, should I tell her? Nothing can be the same again, but she's my only family and my best friend. And my husband. Is this over? I have been so blind. Now I see everything. Of course he's in love with her. How could I be stunned now? Can I save this marriage? And my baby? I vowed her a better life than the one I had. I vowed her kind and loving parents. I can't let her come to this world with estranged parents and new people in their lives. What can I do? Edit for an update. He is awake now, and I have spoken to him. He expressed regret for paining me last night. He said that he just felt despair, like he had something very beloved and important in his life that he lost, and he was mourning it. He told me he loved me very much and he wanted for this to work for us and the baby. I asked him if he loved her more than me, and he said it's just a different type of love. I asked him if he could choose between me or her. He said he'd choose me. I asked him if he thought she was more beautiful, and he said that I'm conventionally more attractive. I asked him if he has stayed with me all these years to be near her. He said I was being unfair to him because he did love me. I asked him if he is okay never seeing her again. He teared up but then said he would do anything to save this marriage. He then added that he never really had a mother or a female figure in his life. That's probably why he's attached to her, because she is very warm and loving. I asked him, do you love her as a mother figure, or do you want to sleep with her? He didn't want to answer. I asked him if he fantasized about her while sleeping with me. He refused to answer at first and then said, why are you doing this to yourself? I asked him, will you lose interest in me if she's out of our lives and it's just us? He looked like he was thinking about this for the first time, and then he said that he chose me and my baby. He wants to start therapy and counseling because he thinks this marriage is salvageable. Update 2. We had a dinner with my sister and her fiancé. My husband was unusually silent and didn't initiate any talk with my sister, and he barely looked at her. It was a nice dinner. My sister is too happy to notice anything with her engagement and trip tomorrow. Before she went, however, my husband hugged her, longer than usual. He told her he was happy for her and wished her a great trip, all while hugging her. Then he held her hand and told her I didn't congratulate you properly yesterday because I was drunk, and he congratulated her again. He was tearing up again. Then he hugged my sister's fiancé and congratulated him. He was silent on our way home. He told me he loved me when we got back and that he will do anything to make this work, but that I shouldn't take any decisions while hurt. We are starting couples therapy. I wanted to be 100% honest. He asked me not to tell anyone about his admission because it meant nothing. I told him that I didn't want him around my sister anymore if I would give him a chance. He asked me how this would work when we're always together. She will suspect something, and he doesn't want me to tell her because he's embarrassed. I told him he could just minimize his interactions with her. I told him to sleep on the couch again tonight because I haven't made up my mind about my next move yet, and that until then, it's the couch for him. Good night and thanks for everything, including teaching me how to make bold text. What an exhausting day. Update 3. I'm thankful for everyone who's reaching out asking for any new updates. I just don't think I have information enough to make a new post. But I have gone through all the comments, and thank you. I asked my husband for separation because I need to be on my own to make my decision. We are also starting marriage counseling. Whether we stay together or not, I want to know everything that he has been withholding from me. He thinks I'm tormenting myself, but he's wrong. I'm tormented with half-truths. With marriage counseling, I'm hoping I could get to the bottom of his feelings in a safe environment. He cried when I told him that I wanted to separate. He told me he has lost everything in one day because of a drunk admission that meant nothing. He loves me, and he wants to be with me. He suggested that we move away. He has had job offers in other cities on several occasions. He said this could be our new start. We were renovating the basement this summer to make it a guest room because our current guest room is being turned into a baby room. He will live in the basement. It has separate entrances, and the mini kitchen is almost finished. I have decided not to tell my sister about any of this. This is my battle and my marriage. I love my sister so much, but I'll be very honest here. I resent her. I'm jealous of her, and I think I have always been jealous of her. She's a way better person than I am. I hate that I never had the chance to return the favor, as she's always been perfect and never needed help. I resent that she isn't as angry as I am about the injustice we had to endure. I hate that she's so good to me and my husband. I hate that he sees how much better of a person she is, and I hate that I don't blame him for loving her instead of me. Update 4. Hi. I was here about a month ago with my woe about my husband breaking down and confessing that he was in love with my sister and has been for years. The short version is that we're getting a divorce, and that he doesn't want to have anything to do with our daughter. I will include the original post. After my sister's engagement and his admission, he made me a promise that he will love me and that he's going to do all in his power to be a good and loving husband and father. He didn't want me to tell my sister anything because he was embarrassed, and we slowly started to plan a future together in another city. He was already getting a better job offer in the other city, and now he thought it was time to move on. I agreed. We started marriage counseling. I told my sister that we were moving, and she was very upset but, as always, didn't object and supported me. I don't know if she felt it was weird that my husband wasn't hanging with us anymore, but she never asked. She was probably just busy with her own happiness and the changes in her life. After her vacation, she came home and told me everything. She was pregnant, and she was glowing, and that was the reason for this sudden engagement. Her fiancé wants to get married before the baby was born. She asked me to keep it a secret. She probably didn't mean even from my husband, but I kept it a secret anyway, because she was waiting for the second trimester to make the announcement. She finally broke down crying, however, about me moving away when she needed me the most, but then later expressed regret for being selfish. She understood that we needed to provide the best life for my daughter, including finding better jobs elsewhere. I cried for a whole week. A week ago, my husband was in a job interview in the other city, and he was going to stay there for the week to sign a lease to a new apartment. We thought we could try out the new life before selling our house to buy a new one there. My sister and her boyfriend made the announcement that they were expecting last Tuesday, the day after my husband's interview. Not 30 minutes later, my husband called me. He was drunk, and he was crying and asking if it was true and if I knew. He called me a cruel liar for not telling him. He said it was so unfair. My sister's fiancé was a loser, and he didn't deserve her. Her fiancé is a carpenter, and my sister is a pediatrician, and he told me he needed to be alone for a while, so he switched off his phone. Friday, he texted me that he didn't want to be with me anymore and that he didn't want to be in my daughter's life. He was sorry but couldn't do it anymore. If I agreed to free him from his responsibilities as a father, he will leave me the house. I tried calling him, but he had switched off his phone again. I cried all night. Yesterday morning, my sister called me to ask what's up. My husband has asked her to meet up with him because he wanted to tell her something that he couldn't say over the phone, that he was coming on Monday to see her. She asked me what's going on, but I was too tired to tell her anything. She and her fiancé are coming over today, and I will probably need to tell her everything now. Edit for final update. Hi again. I knew I could count on you for support. My sister was here, and I told her everything. I got help from showing her parts of what I have written here because, honestly, I'm too tired to go into details about what I've been going through all these weeks. I told her that my husband was going to call, asking to meet her, probably to tell her he loved her, or maybe something more sinister, so she needs to stay away from him. Her fiancé was on the edge of his seat with anger. My sister was just crying and apologizing, trying to hug and stroke my hair. I hated her touch. I don't know why. I know nothing is her fault. I told my sister that, now that I warned her, I want to be on my own for a while and that I didn't want any contact with any of them. I have been thinking about moving to another city. There's a small town that one of my best high school friends lives in after getting married. It's up north, and everything is bigger, better, and cheaper. I can easily find a small rental until the divorce is final, and I can easily get a job there. If I can manage a place there, I can give birth up there with zero stress. I texted my husband that I've told my sister everything and that both she and her fiancé aren't happy. He called me an hour later. He expressed regret and told me he didn't mean to freak her out. He just wanted to see her and say goodbye, but he won't bother her if she feels scared. He's still the same man and wouldn't let anything happen to her. He didn't ask about me or my baby. He's staying in the new place, and he's starting his new job in September. He thought he would come back to say goodbye before moving to his new city permanently. My sister texted me later that she loved me and that she would stay out of my way if that's what I wanted, but to please not go through with my plans to move. I was wrong in thinking I'm a burden in her life because she's always needed me as much as I needed her, if not more. She would do anything to make it up to me. I didn't answer. I hate it when she's so perfect and kind. Fuck off.